OMG, you guys. Before we get into the episode, there are just a few things I just want to clarify with you. Don't click away. Hold on. Stay right here. Most of the people who watch me are not subscribed. Look at the little analytical here. Do you see that? Sad to me, because the people who are not subscribed can't get notifications when I post. And you know what I think? You shouldn't be on social media that much. So click that little subscribe button for me and click that bell icon so you get a little notification when I post. Okay? Please, for me. Also, if you like what I say, you love what I say, and you want me to continue, please consider buying me a tea. I have in the description a little place. It's Buy Me a Coffee. It's like early 2000s thing. If you love what I say, anything you could give, even a view would be appreciated. But if you could give me just a little tea, I can justify continuing this. Thank you, and enjoy the episode. What's poppin', homies? And welcome to Stav's True Plan, the podcast where we deserve a week break here and there, okay? We deserve a little week break, okay? To clear our mind about things, to take a break, enjoy the family. The reason I did not be able to record last week is because I did not have access to my office. Uh-oh. Well. I hope you guys have enjoyed time with your family. I hope you guys enjoyed the fireworks, a little cold one with the boys or the family, a little margarita, a little beer action, a little Corona with the lime. I hope you guys were able to go to a little event and perhaps see in the eyes of your loved ones, in the glistening of their eye, the poof, poof of the fireworks. I hope you guys had a happy 4th. But just as not everything lasts forever, usually our breaks don't last forever. And we have I have my notes, of a very serious topic at hand. And this is a very important topic to me. But first, let me lay a story to explain. The other day, I was in a store, minding my own business. I don't remember what I was there for. I don't remember, but I do remember a very specific moment where I had to write a note. Okay, I had to write this down because it was a very interesting phenomenon. Okay, there was a child in line, and I remember so distinctly they were crying, but they weren't actually crying, and it appeared that the child was just trying to gain some sympathy. But let me tell you, I made a distinct observation here that similar to us, just like that kid. I meant to say child and kid, and I said child. That child is similar to us because we try to keep being we try to sustain a sad state to subconsciously gain sympathy. So this is what the episode is about today. The grip of sadness. The grip of sadness is so strong and so severe. Take, for example, that child in the store. Fake crying to gain some sympathy. Clearly, it was not legit. The crying was fake. It was fake as fuck. It was not real. You can tell when there's a real cry, right? And the grip of sadness is an ending loop because while he was probably initially upset, and this is what happens with us adults too. A lot of times when we feel something, we get upset and it's initial, right? Initially, we get upset and that happens. It's true. We can't control our emotions, right? Sometimes initially, how we feel pours out and we get upset. But a lot of times, what we wish we had was some attention. I can tell you, there's a lot of times in my life where I wish I had some attention when I was sad. And it's times like these where we need to understand the value of, I guess, our power over ourselves. My phone vibrated. Fuck you. We need to understand the power that we have, because there have been times where I've been sad, where I could easily lift myself up out of it. And I've acknowledged this. I've acknowledged that. I've done that before. And I stay in that sadness, all for someone to ask me what's wrong, and I say nothing. I'm okay. Do you do that? Do you see the silliness of that? Do you see the mistake here? I don't remember who said this. It was a very interesting thing, but before we get to that, but it's just that what happened with me just then, like, we can catch ourselves sometimes being in a state of sadness. We could lift ourselves up out of it, but we ignore that and then continue to be sad. That's the grip of sadness. That's the grip that sadness has on us. It's real. And it's depressing. Because, like I said earlier, I don't know who said this. I'm not sure. But I think it was Andrew Huberman. He's a professor of neuroscience, I think. Yeah. I was watching his podcast, and we actually have a very similar set. And that's completely on accident, by the way. His set is very similar to mine. He has a black backdrop and everything. Y'all should check his shit out, but not until you finish this episode. But he said that oftentimes he would put a smile on, or he would convince himself that, I think it was with his homework or something. He was like, he would convince himself that he loved this homework, and he would start to do it better. Or he, sometimes when he also said if you smile, you will report feeling happier. And that's a very intriguing thing. This is how manipulative that we can be towards ourselves. Dust in the air. This is how much power we have over our emotions. I don't think you understand. A lot of times, and I understand this, people want to be sad. So what they will do is, when they're sad, they'll listen to sad music, or they'll watch sad videos. And social media is the devil, because when you watch something sad, you watch it, even if you don't like it or save it, which you might do those too, it'll detect your watch time as interest. So it's just a feedback loop of evil sadness. Because if you think about it, if you're watching something sad and you're skipping past other content and you're looking at sad things, sad quotes with sad music, right? It detects that you like that sort of content. It takes those hashtags, it takes the music that you see, and then it finds something similar and it throws you that. Because there are 8 billion, right? 8 billion people on Earth, and all of them want to be an influencer. And let's just say there's a market for everything, even you sad ass motherfuckers. Okay, listen. There is value to the feelings that we have as human beings. There's value in sadness. There's value in happiness. There's value in anger, because the ability to feel those things is the most beautiful gift on earth. Okay, I value pain. Okay, it's bad. Pain is bad, but is it? Because the reason why that we are able to feel pain is the alerting that something is wrong. So I don't know if y'all know, but there's this YouTuber. His name is Infinite Waters, and what he does is when he says a bar, he goes slow motion this side, I don't know if y'all know him, but like if you do, like I was considering like what do I do when I say a bar? Like anyway, so truly just to kind of say like kind of put together what we've been saying is that the grip of sadness is so strong and it does not help. It does not help for social media to exist because it feeds it back. It sends it back. The energy that you give into social media, it sends it back to you. So if you say like if you give attention to happy content, good content, bunnies, cats, Legos, anything, it'll send that shit back to you. It'll take your interest in that moment and send it back to you. Right now, my For You page, it evolves. It takes their time. So now mine and my girlfriend's For You page is very similar because of our interests. But right now it's incense. It's Chinese incense. I don't know why. It's little trinket doodads that it's like a little box and you put little white powder in there. I think it's ash and they press it down. We love that. So we give attention to that. We share it to each other. We save it. We have an incense folder on our shared saves on Instagram. But this is where it's bad. This is where social media is the devil here. It will send that shit back to you. So what is it that you do? The absolute best thing that you can do for any state of mind that's not your neutral. If you're extremely happy, if you're extremely sad, if you're extremely angry, I've always said this, you should really be comfortable with talking out loud to yourself how you feel. I'm sad. I'm sad right now. The reason why I'm sad is because of this. Okay, now you've identified the problem. Now you've finally picked it out. Why is it that you're sad at this moment? Express how you feel to yourself. What else are you here for? We humans have been given complex minds and complex thought processes. The most smart beings on this earth we are. And I know that you look at some of your classmates, some of your people, and you're like, I don't know about that. Hold on now. We have so complex emotions. We have complex emotions. We have complex thought processes. We have the ability to have a voice in our head that's ourselves. Some people don't. I actually did not know this. Some people don't experience an inner monologue. Very odd, because I do for sure. But if you just treat yourself as someone else, because you can't always have an ear to talk to. You can't always have that pleasure. I know, it's hard. But listen, stoicism is very important in this aspect because a lot of people take the word stoic. And today's interpretation of the word stoic is damaging to the Stoic philosophy, stoicism. The word stoic means in the dictionary to be emotionless, to be forth, to be like. But the Stoics, the Stoic philosophers preached to understand your emotions, to let them run their course, to not let them have influence over you. You have influence over your emotions. Because they always preached this. The only thing that you have control over is how you feel about things. Our feelings about something can change just like that. Just like that. People change, but they leave that to chance. So why don't you take control over your emotions and be the person you want to be? Because you have control. Maybe you don't have initial control, but you have control about how that affects you. You have control on how that breaks you down. I have been sad before. I don't know if I said this. I have been sad before. Understanding that I'm sad and continue to be sad. Now, the ability to be sad is beautiful. But you need to experience just as much as you can, at least much as you can put your hands into it, right? Try to understand that there's beauty in neutral emotion. There's beauty in that. To be generally happy or to be generally sad, that's not right. To be able to, it's kind of like, living in Michigan. You get to feel all the seasons, you get to be summer, winter, spring, and fall, okay? You got to feel it all. You got to see value in it all. It's so hard for me to fathom. And I know that sometimes a sadness that gets deep can turn into something terrible. But it's just so hard for me to think that someone can be so sad, they can become depressed, they can get so stressed. It just proves to you that the way life is too much for human beings. It's too much. Sometimes it does get too much. But you need to find value in the emotions that you feel. And you need to find value in the understanding of your own emotions. There's something so sexy about that, okay? There's something hot about that. It is hot. It makes me, ooh. And my girl knows how to process her emotions. That's the biggest turn on for me. Processing the emotions. That's good for me. It's good for you. But I understand that sometimes all you want to do is be sad. At least now you understand that if you want to be sad, that verbiage is a little intriguing. Because you could want to be happy. And if you wanted to be happy, you could. What's the phrase? He could. He would if he could. No, that's not it. It's like a phrase people say when in a relationship, like if he wants to, he will, right? If she wants to, she would. That's it. That's the shit. I love that. I love it when shit's on the tip of the tongue and it pops out. You know what I'm saying? Like a little, you know what I'm saying? Like that was just this. I got that shit right now. Right there. Bow, 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 bow. Sending it back for you, motherfuckers. If he wanted to, he would. Okay? If you wanted to change how you are, you are you, okay? No one else plays the role of you except for you. The only thing on earth, and if you feel like you lack control in your life, wait until you hear this shit, because you're going to fucking come, all right? You're going to orgasm everywhere. Are you ready for this? Wait till you hear that you don't have any control over outside emotion, outside things. You don't have any control on anything around here. This whole building could collapse. I don't have control over that. Out of my control. Anything that I have control over is this. I have 100% control. That should give you strength. And that should give you happiness. Okay? Because don't give me that bullshit. I want to be sad right now. I want to feel this way. Why don't you ever want to be happy? Be happy, okay? Life is too short, okay? I know that I'm gonna start repeating now, but I need to tie it all in a bow so I can get the fuck out of here. I'm hungry, okay? Okay? I know that sometimes you just want to be, and sometimes initially you feel sad. But that will ruin your day. It ruins your day, and sadness leaches into your family, into your loved ones. There's value in the moment. And a lot of people value the negative too much, especially since there's infinite value in the moment. but with endless value of the moment itself. Strive for the best moment you can. Okay? Living moment to moment is important because the moment dictates everything. There's no then or later. All life is a collection of nows that become later. Nows that become what was. If your nows are in the best shape, if your now is good, then you will look back and be happy. And you will look back and think, I've had very good moments and happy moments. Because when you're lying on your deathbed, would you have remembered how happy you were and give that value? Or would you be like, oh, I've had a lot of sad moments in my life. Nice. There's value in feelings. And there's value in understanding them. That's all you can do. But you have control. It's your life. Take it back. It's yours. Experience and live and be happy. This has been an episode of Stav's True Plan. Catch you on the flip side. Sorry if this episode wasn't, my usual. It was hard to get back into the style of things, and I hope you guys enjoyed this episode regardless. I love you guys. Kisses.